Okay, so now you've downloaded Davinci Resolve, the first thing you want to do is come and open it. So I've put my app link on the dock here, but obviously depending on whether you're on a Mac or a PC, you need to go into the program files or the apps folder and then open that. If you're on a Mac, it's located in applications and then it's within this folder here, and there's the app. So it's important that when you're using Davinci Resolve, you don't have any other apps open on your computer unless you've got a very fast, powerful Mac or PC. So close everything down if you can, and then open the app. So what I'll do is I'll talk you through how to kind of start up a project, how to import files, and how to start editing them within this video. I'll look at exporting and or delivering in another video after this. So as you wait for Davinci to start up, it's important to sort of say that Davinci Resolve is basically at its heart a kind of a basic editor. It's designed for color grading initially, but they've developed it, and now there's a fully functioning video editing function in it, and you can edit audio just as you would in Premiere or anything else. So when you come in, you're presented with this home projects pane. So the first thing you need to do is come down here and go to new project. So let's name this. So we'll call this a sound design test 1. So you name this whatever your project is and create. So the first thing we do is we're presented with all these tabs here along the bottom. They're all for slightly different things, but the one we're going to be concerned with just at the minute is the edit tab. So here, if you can click on edit, and then you've got a window which is very similar to kind of Premiere in terms of how it's laid out. A little bit more basic, which is actually I quite like myself, and you might like it as well. So what we're going to do is import a video to begin with, and I'm going to import one of the videos that you're using for your sound design assessment. So you've got the first one is a clip from or a scene from Vanilla Sky, and the second one is a short animation called A Tale of Inertia and something else. Can't remember it off the top of my head. So first thing we're going to do is we'll import the Vanilla Sky one. So right click in this window up here and go import media. It's called A Tale of Momentum and Inertia, that video is. So click on the scene that you're going to import, open, and this will come up just saying that your project settings have a different frame rate to the one that you're importing, so just change that to match. And then you've got your video up here. So I'm going to drag and drop that onto a timeline, which will create a new timeline, as you can see here. You can click on that and name it if you want to. So, but essentially what we've got here now is our video. Okay, so what I'm going to do to begin with is I'm going to unlink the audio from the video because we don't want the audio. Okay, so click on the clip, right click, and then go to the bottom here where it says link clips and unlink them. Then what you can do is just click into somewhere to deselect this, click back on the audio and press backspace on your keyboard to delete it. So now we've just got the video, which is exactly what we want. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to import a couple of sound effects which will kind of give you an example of how you can start stacking up your sound effects into your clips. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back up to here, go back to import media, right click and import media, and I've got a few sound effects that I've created here, so I'm just going to bring them all in like that. And because I want to keep it all organized up here, what I'm going to do is create a new bin. So again, right click in this pane here, and go to add bin, and we'll call that sound effects. As you go along, you might want to create more of these bins with specific sound effects in, for example, atmospherics, Foley, etc. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in this button sound, and I'm going to place it roughly where I think it needs to be. So I've put the playhead roughly in the right place. But what I'm going to do is zoom in now, so I can kind of get a sense of where everything needs to go. So I'm just using this zoom in and out function here. You can also use on a PC control plus and minus, or on a Mac command plus and minus to zoom in and out. So I'm just going to zoom in, and as you can see, this bit of audio doesn't start right at the beginning of the clip. So I'm just going to kind of pull that back a little bit so that it's a bit more accurate. And then I'm going to find where he presses the button. So it is there. So I'm going to put my clip there. Let's see how that sounds. Okay, so we've got that. Then I'm going to bring in another sound, which is a kind of a bleepy kind of thing, and I'm going to put that underneath, just there. Let's see how that sounds. Okay, and then I've got a kind of a radio sort of sound. It's not really anything like the sound from the film, but it's just something that will work for what we're trying to do here as an example. So I'm going to bring this underneath here, push it along. I'm just going to zoom out a bit so we can see what's going on. And what I want to do is just make this track a little bit bigger so I can see what's going on in it. So you can drag the tracks up and down, the height up and down here if you want to. And I'm going to take this clip and cut it back a little bit because we don't want all of it. So I'm going to move that into place. So I want my ambience to stop just as he presses the button, like so. So I'm going to zoom back out. We're going to see how that plays out. There you go. And there you have it. So you can do as many of these as you want. You can keep layering up your sounds, bringing them in against your video, and that is essentially how you're going to build up your sound design. Okay, so in the next video, we're going to look at exporting your sound, mixing your sound, sorry, and then exporting it so we can get levels right before we export it. Okay.